Hey everyone, this is such an important video. I wanted to do it for a long time, but I just kept putting it off until I got this in the mail, which is a report. I have all this writing. This is not this. It is this on the inside that I marked up because it was so important. But anyways, this is from the Nurse Service Organization. This is the company that I buy my nursing insurance from. Yes, I know people think that because they work for an employer at a hospital or home health care facility that they have insurance through them. Well, for me, that's not good enough, okay? And I want you to consider, too, whether that's going to be good enough for you, because nurses are getting sued and their employers don't always have their back. So let me just share. I'm going to share with you what the results of this study was. It was a study done over 4 years. And it talks about the nurses who were sued in this 4-year time period. So out of 100% of the people that were sued, almost 92% of them were RNs, okay? And 8% were PNs. So that is very surprising. And this company spent over $80 million protecting these nurses, okay, and protecting their license. So this is a company that is taking action. They're not just collecting your money. They are doing something about it when you get into trouble. And the specialties that were sued the most were obstetrics, neurology and neurosurgery, plastic surgery and reconstructive surgery. And also there was a rise in med-surg, gerontology, as well as obstetrics. So if you guys are trying to deliver babies and something goes wrong, or you're interested in plastic surgery and something goes wrong, I would highly suggest you invest into this program. Okay, so also something else that I thought was really interesting was that this company found out that the most common reasons in general that nurses get sued is failing to do core competencies, failing to perform core competencies. So all the stuff that we learn for NCLEX, when we get out in the real world, we tend to do it real world style, okay? Which usually sometimes is improper. It's a shorthand version of doing it the right way. Well, people are getting sued for that, okay? So don't let those old nurses bully you or your preceptors when they're trying to show you their way to do things. Do it the right way, okay? So failure to do core competencies, failure to assess patients properly, failure to communicate, okay, to other healthcare professionals in an appropriate time frame. And also my most favorite one and my soapbox is failure to document properly. Incomplete documentation is a crime, okay? I want you guys to think about that. Anytime you don't document something that you don't document something that the patient has refused or said, you are just asking for trouble, okay? If everybody knows, if you didn't write it down, you didn't do it. And even if you don't cause patient harm, if your nurse manager audits your charting and finds that you're just writing notes, you're not dating them properly, you're not signing them, you're using inappropriate abbreviations, that it just looks sloppy. It makes you look like a sloppy nurse, and sloppy nurses tend to make a lot of mistakes, right? That's the assumption. So the top 3 reasons for RNs and LPNs getting sued. I'll start with the LPNs. Number 1 reason is medication errors. Okay, that is really concerning because for the LPN, your main job is to perform nursing skills, okay? Medications, treatments, dressings, that's what you're there to do. So if you're not doing them properly, it's going to be very obvious, okay? Medication errors, abuse, and patient rights. So violating patients' rights. And the 3rd reason is improper treatment or improper care. That's for the LPNs. Top 3 reasons RNs are getting sued. Number 1 reason is professional conduct. And that just boggles my mind. 2nd reason is improper care and treatment. And 3rd reason is medication administration errors. And what's really crazy is that claims can be filed by patients. When we think about somebody suing somebody, it's usually like, oh, the patient is suing their nurse or their doctor. But here it says that claims can be filed and are filed by patients' family members, by colleagues of the nurses and by employers, okay? So if a hospital gets sued, I'm sure they won't have any problem filing a complaint against you and your license, which should make you guys even more interested in getting this insurance for your own self. My insurance, I have $1 million worth of liability insurance, and it's $100 for the whole year. So that is so reasonable. I mean, my car insurance is like $80 every month, okay? So $100 for $1 million worth of protection for the whole year is kind of like a no-brainer, you guys. What else I want to tell you? And then at the back, they did some, they just did some questionnaires about the nurses who were sued. And they asked, did they have preceptors? 50% of them said, yes, we had them. 50% said no. So, I mean, either, I don't know if that made a big difference or not. It also said, though, that there was a decreased risk of being sued if your hospital used electronic documentation exclusively. So if you weren't paper charting, I know here, the hospitals here, they're transitioning, but some of them still do a lot of paper charting. So paper charting can be a huge risk if you are not documenting appropriately. So I wanted to share this with you guys. It is the, again, Nurse Service Organization. Google it, look it up, please. I don't always come in here urging you guys to buy things or do things, but this is important, okay? No matter where you are in your nursing career, it is so important that you have someone who's going to advocate for you if something happens. You only have one means to get income, or so I'm thinking. All I have is my nursing license, okay? If something happens and I lose my nursing license, I don't have a means of income, all right? I will have to go back to school. I will have to choose another career path. You know, I don't have time for that, okay? I'm not doing that. So protect your license is so important. Bye, guys.